What if time travel doesn't require a machine? What if it doesn't even require movement? Imagine sitting in your own home, and suddenly finding yourself trapped in another moment in time. No warning. No explanation. No way out. Tonight, we explore the chilling story of the woman who traveled through time, without moving, a case that challenges everything we believe about reality, memory, and the nature of time itself. Time travel is usually imagined as dramatic, machines, flashing lights, portals opening in space. But what if time travel doesn't require movement at all? What if it happens silently, instantly, and without leaving the room? This is the unsettling story of a woman who traveled through time, without moving an inch. The ordinary day that wasn't it began as a normal afternoon. The woman, whose name was never officially released, was at home, sitting in her living room. No stress. No illness. No unusual events. She later described the moment as calm and quiet, the kind of day you forget as soon as it passes. Then something changed. She noticed the room felt wrong. Not frightening, just unfamiliar. The air felt heavier. The light coming through the window looked different, dimmer and colder, as if the sun had shifted position without warning. When she stood up, the floor felt unfamiliar beneath her feet. The furniture was in the same place, yet everything felt slightly off. She checked her phone. No signal. No notifications. No service. At first, she assumed there was a network issue. But when she turned on the television, every channel showed static. The radio produced only faint, distorted sounds, voices that seemed distant, almost echoing. That's when she realized she was no longer in the same moment in time. The world outside the window. She walked to the window and looked outside. The street was there, but it wasn't the same street she knew. The buildings looked older, worn, and unfamiliar. Cars were absent. No people walked by. No animals. No sound. The sky had a strange color, not dark, not bright, but flat, like an unfinished photograph. Fear set in. She ran to the front door and opened it. Outside, the neighborhood was frozen. Trees stood still, unmoving in a windless silence. The air felt thick, as if time itself had slowed or stopped altogether. She shouted for help. No response. Clues that time had shifted inside the house. She noticed small details that confirmed something impossible had happened. Calendars on the wall showed dates that didn't match the present year. A newspaper on the table, which she did not remember owning, displayed a headline from decades in the future. The language was familiar, but the events were things that hadn't happened yet. Her reflection in the mirror unsettled her most. She looked the same, but the mirror behind her didn't match the room. Objects appeared slightly displaced, as if the reflection belonged to another version of her home. Time hadn't just moved forward or backward. It had slipped. How long was she gone? The woman later said the experience felt like hours, maybe days. Hunger came and went strangely. She didn't feel tired the way she normally would. Time had no rhythm. She tried to leave the neighborhood, but roads seemed to stretch endlessly, looping back to familiar places. Walking in one direction eventually returned her to her own front door. There was no escape. And then, without warning, it ended. The return, she was back on her couch. The TV was on. Her phone vibrated with missed notifications. Sunlight filled the room exactly as it had before. Only minutes had passed. But she knew something was wrong. The clock showed a time she didn't remember seeing before. A small object on the table had shifted position. And when she checked the news later that night, she saw an article predicting an event, one that hadn't happened yet, but would, days later. She never experienced the event again. But she was changed. Theories that terrify scientists. Some scientists suggest the woman experienced a temporal displacement episode, a brief moment where consciousness detached from the normal flow of time. Others believe it was a neurological phenomenon, the brain misinterpreting reality. But there are problems with those explanations. The physical details. The accurate future information. The altered environment. Another theory suggests she entered a time pocket, a moment where time folded in on itself, trapping her between past and future. And then there's the most disturbing theory of all. She never moved through time. Time moved around her. Time is a field, not a line. Modern physics suggests time may not be linear, but layered. Past, present, and future may exist simultaneously, like stacked pages. If that's true, then in rare moments, consciousness could slip between layers, without physical movement. No machine. No portal. Just awareness. And if one person experienced it, others may have too. The final question: if time can move without motion, if moments can be entered and exited like rooms, then how many times have we almost slipped, without realizing it? The woman never sought fame. She shared her story quietly, through researchers and private interviews. She didn't want attention. She wanted answers. And to this day, none fully explain what happened. Because if time travel doesn't require movement, then the doorway might be anywhere. Even where you're sitting right now. If time can shift without motion, if moments can overlap and collide, then the past and future may be far closer than we think. Was this a rare glitch in reality? A hidden ability of the human mind? Or proof that time is not a straight line, but a place we can unknowingly enter? If this story made you question reality, like, comment, and subscribe for more unexplained mysteries and time-bending stories. Until next time, stay curious, stay aware, and remember, sometimes the greatest journeys happen without moving at all.